Coach, with them coming off bye week, we've seen Bowden do some Wildcat stuff for him. He's been working in the quarterback room. How do you guys prepare for the possibility of seeing him and, maybe other quarterbacks?
I think that's always a possibility every week, and we're coming off a bye week as well, and I don't think either club has an advantage from that standpoint because I'm sure we both would have loved to have been playing Saturday. That's what you like to see, but one way or the other, whether it's a bye week or not, we got to prepare for it, and that's what we're trying to do.
I guess Bowden, he's a guy like Chad said, he plays all over. He's a return guy, quarterback, receiver, runner. Just what kind of athlete and threat as far as versatility is he for you guys to prepare for?
He's got a lot of skill. There's no question about that, and he's not the only one. But the fact that he can line up in Wildcat and run the football, the fact that he can be out at wide receiver and you can have a tailback at Wildcat and handing him the ball off. So they got a lot of ways to get the ball to it, and certainly he's dynamic with the ball in his hands.
Chad had mentioned Malik Chavis and Jalen Catalon as a couple of players who might be close to working their way back into games. What have you seen for those two in particular, and are there other freshmen who you could see working their way into the game soon?
Well, with Malik, obviously he's a guy that's very, very talented, and to be honest with you, we got to push to get him ready. Malik's got great size. He's got great speed. He's a guy that we need on the field if we can get him ready. And Catalon is a guy that is a playmaker. You look at him in the scrimmages where he was the same way, but he's a guy when he's out there in practice, he can find the ball, he can get to the ball, and certainly make plays. So, we're going to keep pushing the envelope and try to make sure that we got our best players on the field, and certainly those two have a chance to get there. We got to continue to build depth, and that's a part of it.
Coach, what have you seen from the Kentucky receivers, specifically number 14, Wagner?
Well, he's a big guy, big guy that's got great hands, and he does a lot of good things, but the best thing he does when you get him in a situation where there's a 50-50 ball, he's got great hands and he can go up and get it, and he makes those plays. So certainly, that's very impressive when you watch a big guy like that really is as athletic as he is.
How did Sosa progress on it with as far as getting his getting back healthy, and just your defense in general? How's the health after the off week?
Well, we expect everybody back, except Dorian, obviously, and that's where it is right now, and we certainly expect Sosa to be back as well.
Coach,
it went okay. Like I said, it's I've done it both ways. And we wanted to, see if it would be a little better, and I'm probably going to stay in the booth, and I don't mind either way.
This is going to be the first time Arkansas has played at Kentucky since '08, but I know you obviously went there a lot with Tennessee. I honestly don't know if you ever went there with LSU or A&M, but what's the atmosphere like at Kentucky? What do you tell your players about it?
It's been excellent, particularly in the last 4 or 5 years since they've really got that program back where they want it. Obviously last year they had an outstanding year, and when you go up there, anytime I've been there, it's been a great venue. They've done a lot to improve their facilities. They got great facilities. They're an SEC school, and they fit there. So it'll be that way. It'll be that way. And I've never been up there when their fans didn't support their program, even sometimes when they were not as good as they are right now. Their fans do a great job supporting it, and that's what it's what you expect to see in the SEC.
I guess an open week gives you a little time to self-reflect, do some self-analysis. What did you get out of last week in terms of where y'all want to improve going forward?
Well, I'm not going to go into any specific details, but we want to get better, and we need to get better. It's a situation where you've heard this statement before. Nothing stays the same. You get better, you're going to get worse, and that's a fact. And certainly fundamentally. When I start talking about fundamentals, that means, players understanding, eye discipline, where their eyes need to be, what they need to be looking at, what they need to see. All those areas, but when you're playing with a young football team, that you can get better. Even with a veteran football team, you can get better. You watch yourself, And if the players do a great job of evaluating themselves, which we're trying to teach that, and we want them to be able to do that, then sometimes you don't even tell them. They can come in and tell you what they got to do. I mean, you already know. But if we've done a good enough job teaching them, then they know too.
Jamario Bell's had like 3 sacks since he's gotten back. What do you thought of his play coming back from the injury? What's he done real well?
Well, I mean, that's, it's exciting, and we missed that for 4 weeks or 3.5 weeks, and he's going to hopefully be even a little better this week, and he brings a lot to the table in terms of experience, and he's a very good competitor. So it was good to see him back.
And Chad said that Zach Williams will be back this week. How good is that to help your depth, and kind of where's Eric Gregory in his process? Coming back from the injury and kind of getting ready to play.
Well, I think Eric is healthy enough to play. We've been trying to find situations to get him in the game, and we got to just say, hey, we're going to put him in the game, and he's very close, and I think he's kind of at a point to where he's not going to get much better till he gets playing time. It's you can only improve so much in practice. He needs game reps, and certainly we want to get him in there. Well, it gives you some depth, and Zach was starting to really blossom, and we're excited about all those young defensive ends. They've done a good job. So Zach brings some speed and some quickness and some pass rush ability that we were without for a few games.
One more question about the freshman defensive end. Solely, it's got to be hard to play with the ball on your hand. What have you thought of just his competitiveness and how he's done? And I guess it's might be coming off pretty soon, they say.
Yeah, and I don't know that he could be any more competitive. I mean, that's who he is. That's the way he plays. He's got a long history. His dad, obviously coached him in high school, and he was an outstanding football player. And he knows how. He knows how because because of the coaching that he got before he got here. Now, certainly, he's going to get better, and from a technique standpoint, but he knows how to compete. Thank you, guys.